Hello, everyone. I am Madison Figueroa, a senior biology major at Fisk University, as well as a third-year student health ambassador for the HBCU Wellness Project at Meharry Medical College. And today I will be discussing my research findings on my research topic, which is exploring the correlation between substance abuse and domestic violence. So just a little introduction and background into my research. Domestic violence, which is also referred to as intimate partner violence, does not only include physical abuse, but can also include emotional, psychological, as well as financial control over victims. And once substance abuse is brought into an occurrence, it does not only increase the abuser's aggression towards the victims, but can also provide victims with a source of a coping mechanism to the violence and trauma that they have had to endure. The big question, how does exposure to domestic violence influence mental health outcomes and the likelihood of substance abuse? My hypothesis was that participants will have an increased understanding of the connection between domestic violence, mental health, and substance abuse, while also becoming more aware of those local resources and those warning signs. The way I went about conducting my event, I held my event via Zoom and I recruited my participants via social media platforms such as Instagram and Facebook, as well as the Fisk University student group chat on GroupMe, where I posted my electronic flyer. A pre and a post test was administered to measure that knowledge gain. I also posted informational flyers on domestic violence and substance abuse statistics leading up to my event so that I can boost that eagerness in participants to want to come and learn more. I collaborated with Miss Misty Phillips from the Tennessee Coalition to End Domestic and Sexual Violence, as well as the Residence Life Department at Fisk University. Just a little intervention overview. Like I said, my intervention was held via Zoom, and it focused on the correlation between substance abuse, mental health, and domestic violence so that I can increase those warning signs, mental health impacts, and those available local and national resources, while also using that pre and that post test to measure the knowledge gain amongst those participants. What made my intervention innovative was, like I said, my use of the virtual platform, community partnership, as well as the pre and the post test so that I can see what my participants have learned from the time that they came in with the knowledge they previously had from the time that they left with the knowledge that was given to them during my intervention, as well as increasing access to education and resources on domestic substance abuse and mental health awareness. Here are my results from my intervention. I did have approximately 60 participants attend my intervention with an overall knowledge gain of 48%, with the breakdown being a 25% increase of signs and symptoms knowledge and a 23% increase of those resources and treatment knowledge. Below, you can see a sample question from my intervention and the pre and the post test just showing that knowledge gain below. So in conclusion, I do believe that my intervention has effectively enhanced the understanding of the intersection between domestic violence, substance abuse, and mental health. And my findings did demonstrate the value of community-based education and that cross-sector between partnerships in promoting awareness, prevention, and access to critical resources within those underserved populations. I did run into a few limitations while hosting my event, which were low audience engagement due to the event being held virtually, as well as limited personal engagement time for participants that may have wanted that one-on-one engagement with our community partner. In the future, if I was to host this event again, I will provide more local resources for those victims of aid who may not be able to travel further from their home and maybe need something in the community that they reside in, as well as host the event in person for those participants that may want that personal opportunity to speak with the licensed community partner. Again, I thank you for listening in on my research findings. Here you can see my resources. I would like to thank Mrs. Christina Haygood from the HBCU Wellness Project as also my student ambassador coordinator for the Fisk University location. I would like to thank Miss Misty Phillips from the Tennessee Coalition to End Domestic and Sexual Violence, the Residence Life Department at Fisk University, as well as the Meharry Medical College's HBCU Wellness Project. I cannot have done this without y'all, and I really am thankful for the opportunity to share these resources to those underserved communities. Thank you again.